power and grace of the finest gymnasts in the Atlantic 10. They've converged on the Carrie Hicks cage at the University of Massachusetts with just one goal in mind: to claim the Atlantic 10 women's gymnastic title. Our coverage is next. The Atlantic 10 Television Network presents the year 2000 Bell Atlantic Women's Gymnastics Championship. We're at the Carrie Hicks cage in Amherst, Massachusetts to crown a champion in the Atlantic 10. And hi again, everybody, with Wendy Hilliard, former national coach and gymnast. I'm Larry Rosen. 4 teams have made it to Amherst, the Atlantic 10 Championships. Run down the field for us.
Well, first we have George Washington, and then we have Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Temple. And looking from the competition in the warm-up, I would say George Washington's the one to beat.
We will be watching the individual events, but of course building toward the all-around championship, and there are some wonderful athletes to highlight for the all-around.
Well, I'd look at Devin McCullough. She's an outstanding athlete in all the events, but you can see right here, this handspring double front, she's going to be hard to beat on the vault. Marissa Medal, she used to compete internationally for the United States, a powerful gymnast. She has a special quality, her coach says, that you just can't teach gymnasts. It has to do with her performance quality. Mandy Mosby, she's our senior in this event, and at 4'8", she's a tiny gymnast, but she is so powerful. Floor tends to be her best event, but on a good day, watch out for her on beam. Maggie Tallarico. She was the Pennsylvania state champion in the floor event. She is the most valuable team player for Temple, and she's going to be one to watch.
It is a fast and furious event, very intense, with 4 competitions going on simultaneously. How's it going to unfold for us?
Well, here you go. You have 4 teams, and they are going to compete in all 4 rotations. What you're going to have, 6 gymnasts actually compete, but only the top 5 scores count. When you add that all together, then you get the team championship.
And as the competitors go through their last moment warm-up, we are about set for our first rotation. Wendy, one of the more interesting elements, a lot of these young ladies didn't really have a sense of team when they were competing individually. They get to the college level. The team feeling we've had the last couple of days getting ready has been very impressive.
Well, it's really important. It's really how you do the strategy to get the team championship. It's where you are in the lineup. Whether you're first, you have to be very consistent. If you're last, you're looking for the highest score, and everyone has to contribute to get that team score.
Our first rotation will feature George Washington on the vault, Rhode Island on the bars, Massachusetts on the beam, and Temple on the floor exercises, which for Temple, their head coach Ken Anderson was very excited about, because that's their strongest. Something you want to fire out of the gate first, others you're saving. There's Ken in his 14th year and has an extremely strong team of very talented young competitors, with a big smile on his face. And there's a guy that's really invented the Rhode Island gymnastics program, Charlie Connery, in his 20th year. He's taken his club to the regional 7 in the last 8 times. Dave Cazzaro, 7th-year head coach at Massachusetts, in the mood to spring an upset, although they're missing Katie Teft, a freshman who dislocated a shoulder. And the favorites come out of George Washington, under 1999 Coach of the Year Maggie Foster Cunningham. I'm sorry, Margie. Can't read my own notes, as Margie has a dynamic group of young gymnasts. Our first competitor, Kelly Lavowitz, on the bar for Rhode Island, a sophomore. Kelly's best event generally has been on the floor, where she's been over 9-7 in her last 7 events, but she will lead the competition off on the bars. And what are the key elements to look for early on?
Well, when you see the bar routine, of course, we're doing her mount. You have to make sure you have to work on the high bar and the low bar, the swinging elements. It's all about that. Release forms, here she has some pirouettes over. Watch those little form breaks. Nice finger, caught that one. Here she's doing the transition. You have to go back and forth, high to low bar, at least twice throughout the routine. Having a little trouble. Now you have about 30 seconds. Unfortunately, that's a huge deduction. Considered a fall. She has a little bit of time, about 30 seconds, to regroup get a little bit more chalk on those hands so she can stay on those bars. And then she's really need to go because she's almost at the end of the routine. So I think she's just going to go for the dismount. But right now.
So we move to George Washington's Amanda Forrest as she, her first vault.
Oh, very nice handspring double tuck. That is a tough vault to land.
Amanda was added late by Coach Foster Cunningham to be the leadoff performer.
You can see the power here. The handstand, then she does 2 forward flips and a very good landing. Very solid.
With a big smile on her face. A junior out of Pleasantville, New York. Of course, on the vault, you see different techniques in terms of number of strides, the speed and height. Her teammate, Devin McCallum, 5'6", so elegant and powerful. As we see Forrest prepare for her second. GW won the championship both in 98 and 99.
Now right now here are the athletes. She's preparing for a second vault. Same speed, going down the runway. There she goes again. Very nice.
Almost identical.
And the key to that one is the landing. When you're traveling forward like that, it's really hard to spot the ground. And I think as a first player in this rotation for George Washington, solid starting score.
Good to get the nerves out early on. Megan Donahue. Our next competitor on the beam.
Starting off on the beam can always be a little nerve-wracking. 4 inches wide. You really have to keep your nerves together. And when you start off on the beam, the first competitor really has to be solid because she's setting the base score for the rest of her team.
She's getting set. That's Darden Willie, also one of our all-around competitors who finished second in the all-around for George Washington in the Atlanta 10 Championships a year ago. She threw a 39.25 all-around score up in Maryland a couple of weeks ago. And here's her first vault. Wow, look at the height.
Very nice, very nice. She had a very slight step on the landing, but it won't be a large deduction.
Now, in terms of the possible score, you can tell from the basic skill she's throwing what the high end of the score could be at that point.
That's right, especially for the vault. Each of the vault has a score that it has a maximum value, and it starts from there. The more difficult the vault, of course, is going to be a maximum value of 10. And so all of the gymnasts pick the ones that they can really do most consistently and get the least amount of deductions on.
We go back to the bars, and Julie has it. Julie had a career high 9.8 on bars a couple of weeks ago and has worked down through the rotation, the junior out of North Jersey.
There's always so much going on when you have all the events going on at the same time. It takes a great amount of concentration to really focus so you can hit your own event.
She's waiting for the score to be posted for Kelly Labowitz before she goes. And on the bars out of Rhode Island.
Now we're watching Donahue on balance beam.
Thank you.
Really going through her acrobatic series. The balance beam, you have to both tumble and have dance movements, leaps. You have a gymnastics combination there.
Megan is ranked 20th in the Atlantic 10 overall.
Very important during the beam that you keep the flow going, you keep moving. You don't want to have too many breaks, especially if she's going for her mixed combination, where you want to add a dance move and a tumbling or acrobatic move.
And the full twist and dismount.
Nice dismount.
Competition is well underway. As our first rotation continues, we'll step aside. Back to the Kerry Hicks cage in a moment. The Atlanta 10 Women's Gymnastics Championship is brought to you by Bell Atlantic. As a proud sponsor of the Atlanta 10 Conference, Bell Atlantic is dedicated to helping those students and athletes achieve every possibility. By GMAC and the GMAC grad program. Grads get $400 off any new Chevrolet, Pontiac, GMC, or Oldsmobile. And by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers. Here with Wendy Hilliard, I'm Larry Rosen. Welcome to the year 2000 Bell Atlantic Women's Gymnastics Championship. As we go to the floor exercises. Danielle Corbin on the floor X.
Yeah, she started off, had a back double pike, but she landed on her knees. Big deduction there.
She was not penciled into the floor lineup until just before the event. Based on the way she went in warm-up, here's her second pass.
Very nice handspring layout front. It's important in the floor exercise. You have to have your tumbling passes, combination, dance. And she has her gymnastics series there.
And you do a minimum of 3 runs, but if you got the juice, you go for a 4th.
And you got to have a lot of juice to go for the 4th.
Pretty.
Very nice. When you get to the end of the routine, you're going to need all that energy so you can finish with a lot of... Well, that was an interesting pose. Usually she's going to end with a pose that's showing that to the crowd, but she's just like, I am done.
That's Danielle Corbin. Danielle, the third floor performer for Coach Cunningham. Maggie Tellerico, who we profiled in the all-around, will go last on the floor. This is almost impossible for 2 eyes to cover.
It really is. All the events, and then the floor music is going, and the beam, and you have to be nice and quiet or really focused. But these athletes have been doing this all year long, and so they're really prepared for this competition.
Here's Marissa Medal, the most highly touted recruit in the history of Rhode Island women's gymnastics. Freshman out of Plantation, Florida. And an incredible pedigree, especially on the unevens.
Yeah, here she has a reverse hat. Very nice. You can see her swing. She has a very good rhythm in her bar routine. Adjusting her grips just for a second there.
Wow.
Nice dismount.
Marissa Medal. Her family kind of fell in love with Coach Connery on a visit down to Florida. She was being recruited by Iowa and Pitt, and some major powers, but Coach Connery got her. On the vault, Casey Coyne from GW.
Ah, very nice twister. She's really doing what we call a Sukahara vault. Half-turn entry. Little close to the vault on the ending there. You want to make sure and get flight away from the vault.
And back on the floor, Ann Corner from Temple University. What kind of floor are we working with today? It's a bouncy one, isn't it?
Yeah, they're always bouncy. These floors really do have springs on the bottom, really to help the tumbling and really help the landing. But these athletes compete on this all year round. Some floors have a little bit more spring than others, but it's all got to be on your technique.
Her second run.
Really nice combination. In some of the runs, you want to make sure and combine backward tumbling with front tumbling.
She was a performer of the week in the Atlantic 10 several weeks ago. She put a career high together.
Choreography is very important. You want to make sure that all the moves fit the music. You have to move both fast and slow throughout the routine. And sometimes, like right now, you want to just give yourself a little chance to rest before your final tumbling run.
Very nice for Ann Koner, Temple University. And from the University of Massachusetts, Jen Genren, highly touted freshman, taking it to the beam. UMass overall on the beam, extremely strong. Moore and Mosby to come.
Now, it's really key for any team in the event. If you hit beam, you can usually get through the rest of the competition. Save that one.
That'll cost her a tiny bit?
Just a tiny bit. She really, doing her acro series, just lost a little bit of balance. Switch split, wolf jump. Preparing. You want to try and get that dismount. Actually doing front tuck. Really nice. That is a very hard, one of the most difficult moves. Taking a run for that and landing on 2 feet.
It's the slightest of bobbles. Poses it very well.
Twisting dismount, really solid. When you get in the middle of the pack, you just want to be consistent. You want to make sure all your athletes stay on the beam, getting you the scores, moving them up till you get to the last athletes.
On the vault, Devin McCullough from George Washington. 5'6", long and strong.
Really very powerful. Really nice combination there. Sometimes she does a handspring double front, and then you add a little twist at the end, gives a little bit higher credit.
McCullough, first in the all-around, 3-time performer of the week in the Atlantic 10, out of Texas. And vault's probably her best individual event.
The thing about her is that she's really outstanding on all the events. That's why she's doing so well in the all-around, but she's powerful. See the speed she's gaining. There she hits the same vault again. Nice landing. When you do that little twist at the end, you want to make sure and have a solid landing. Look for the floor and nail it.
She anchors the vault for George Washington. As they complete their first rotation, vault generally, you get to put a score up and kind of wait and see what everybody else did. As McCullough, coming off a 9.8 vault in Maryland, sets the mark here.
You can see what you want to do is you want to take that speed moving forward. As you go off the horse, going to the handstand position, handspring forward. One front somersault, and then the second you just add that extra twist. One, and do a twist on the landing.
So was that a 9-9 potential vault, or is that twist take it up? Yep.
No, we want potentially a 9-9.
They use a lot of tape. Rolls and rolls and rolls of it.
Sometimes there's going to be a bit of impact on those wrists, and that just gives it a little bit of extra strength, a little bit extra security.
Very talented performer is McCullough. She was among the Texas high school All-American record holders out of Dallas. And the 99 Rookie of the Year from Temple, Maggie Tarico. who's starting to put some school records together already at Temple. Rookie of the week.
No flash photography. Thank you.
And anchor on the floor.
See for her first pass. Very nice front tumbling combination. Nova down to the floor.
They do look to how she works with her music.
Oh, you definitely do. It's one of the things that the athletes take a lot of time choosing something that's going to excite them, that really get them motivated, because you do have to practice it only thousands of times. But it also gives you a chance to show your personality, what you really want to exude to the crowd, and to what's going to motivate you to get through all those tumbling passes and give you time to shine.
She's a Pennsylvania state champion in high school.
Now that's going to cost you.
And she didn't get it turned over?
Yeah, you just really, what we call a little bit short on the rotation.
Now, as an all-around championship contender, how much does that hurt this early?
Well, it does hurt early. You know, that's a fall, so that's a large deduction. And as your last athlete, you hope that everyone else was consistent.
Sweet ending. And Coach Anderson with words of support. Competitors completing their first rotation. We'll see that second tumbling run and how she came up shy.
Here she's going for a handspring. Front layout, really nice right there. And then she's doing the front tuck, and it was just a little short. Tiny bit, but that's going to count as a fall, large deduction.
And that's Mosby from Massachusetts. Mandy, the all-around winner in 98 and 99 on the beam, where she's fifth in the league. It's the 9.785 RQS, which is the NCAA number, a very high number. Small, effervescent, funny, and powerful to watch.
She's going for a dismount. Tuck, double back, one step, but it was a nice dismount.
So rotation one has been completed. We'll come back to the Cara Hicks cage with more Bell Atlantic 10 Women's Gymnastics Championships in a moment.
Meet
Rotation two about to get underway. Bell Atlantic Women's Gymnastics Championships in the Atlantic 10. In rotation two, Temple on the vault, the bars GW, the beam, Rhode Island on the floor, Massachusetts, where Mary Moore's our first competitor. We've not yet gotten the complete scoring for the first rotation. There is a judge's inquiry underway on the Massachusetts score, so as soon as that has been clarified, we'll pass it on to you.
Starting with an Arabian punch front for her opening tumbling pass. That's the one thing that coaches do have the opportunity to ask the judges to review a score if they don't think it's correct.
Based on specifics or opinion? Or?
A combination of both, actually. You know, they know the routines best, and they just want to make sure the judges saw everything that was performed.
Mary Moore's had a consistent year with the injury to Katie Teft, has moved up higher in the rotation, but has put a 38-7 all around together. And in lead position on the floor.
It's a nice combination of music and choreography. Different styles. Hers is a more classical style. She has very nice flexibility, and she's showing that off.
And here comes the tumbling run.
Really nice tempo, just a full. It had good height.
Well done. And to the bars we go. GW's second rotation. Here's Casey Coyne. Casey's improved dramatically this year, especially on the vault. We'll see how she runs on the unevens.
Very nice. You can see her form. Legs are nice and straight, toes pointed. She has good speed. Doing the transitions from the high to low bar, low to high bar. Setting up her dismount. Tough double flyaway.
That's a good leadoff routine for GW. Just put a solid score up top and get a hug from Coach Foster Cunningham. Here's Stephanie Clark from Rhode Island on the beam in leadoff position. Coming off a school record 9.9 last time out. And has a routine with some difficulty to it.
Very interesting move she's scheduled to do here. Illusions, nice combinations. But Larry, you know, at 5'6", she's one of the taller gymnasts that we have in the competition. 2 back handspring step outs.
Very confident approach.
There's her illusion. Oh, she is lost it. You know, that's really a hard movement, mainly because of the rotation that you have, and you're going through the split. That's a really difficult movement to do on the beam, and unfortunately, she counted a fall. So hopefully everyone else on the team is going to be nice and consistent.
It does pull it back together nicely. And prepping for the dismount.
The thing is, you want to start doing a combination. You have to show dance combinations. You do have a time limit on the beam, and you're going to get a little note if you'll give you 10 seconds before you can get off. She has her gainer off to the side.
Well done. Bryn Hillman from Temple University, one of the performers of the week in the Atlantic 10. Another tall performer at 5'8".
That's really tough, especially getting it on the ball. Very nice twist. She didn't quite complete it.
Let's check after the first rotation. The scoring is now complete. George Washington, 48.55. UMass at 48.4. Rhode Island at 48.225. And Temple at 47.7 through our first rotation. Julie Gallagher from Temple University on the vault.
Most of these athletes really have about 3 different ways you can approach the vault. Handspring, or a handspring with a half, or what we call Yuchenko. And, oh, she missed her hand completely. Hope she's okay. That was a tough fall.
She didn't get the hands planted right?
Yeah, one of them just slipped off. And so they really can't count the vault because the judges are looking for both the hands to end. With all that speed moving forward, trying to rotate, she just wants to make sure she's okay. It's really shooken up there.
Here it is again. We'll see where she might have lost it.
Here's a hand. She's doing a half turn, and that's where she missed it. Just overshot it a little bit too much, slipped the hand off, and that's what caused the fall.
The right hand never touched at all.
She's doing a twist on, right? Like a Sukahara, and she totally missed that. And so you have no way to push off the horse, really, to get your rotation going again. Good thing those mats were there.
Oh, yeah.
Soften that fall.
Joy of youth as she smiles and bounces up. Here's Darden Wiley, one of our favored competitors. She finished 4th on the bars a year ago and has gotten better and better. A legitimate shot at the all-around with what she's done thus far. She put a 39.125 all-around up at Maryland. And there you see her best on the bars for the career at 9.85.
Oh, that's a great score.
Very
Nice
elegant
play.
with the swing.
Yeah, very nice position. There we have her Tkachev reverse hex. Transition over to the low bar. You really mention this a lot, the rhythm that it takes to keep those swings going, keep the flow of the routine.
Excellent handwork, and lays it out. Teammates loved it.
Double tuck for a dismount, and she hit it.
Let's go back to Julie Gallagher, who scrapes herself back up, the determination on the face.
And there we go.
She hit it.
She wasn't taking any chances on that vault.
And nice response from the coach. Well done. Midway through rotation number 2, Atlantic 10 Women's Gymnastics Championships. We'll come back to the Kerry Hicks cage with more for you in a moment. We welcome you back as we head back to the bars for Devin McCullough with that beaming smile of hers. Lights up a gym.
You know, for a sophomore, she is very confident in her competition. She really is coming into her own.
Now she's got some height in those incredibly long legs, which might not always be the easiest thing on the bars, right?
It can be tough on the bars, but it looks great in positions. You can see nice toe point, very nice 2 release moves. Second one, that Ginger, really pulling it back together. You know, it makes it a little bit tougher when you're taller, you know, to really work the bars. Exactly, but it looks great. Preparing for a dismount. Coming each.
Very nice. The 1 foot on the dismount setup.
Yeah, toe on.
Here's Maggie Tellerico from Temple.
Nice
step back.
Yeah, the judges really focus on the landing on the vault. You're so much speed moving forward, that landing.
She's less than thrilled, you can tell from that reaction. Great athlete.
So she has that same entry, half on, pulling it back around in pike position, looking for the landing, and then has to take that big step.
Now that pike position makes it a little bit more difficult to stick that landing.
A little bit tougher. But it also increases the difficulty.
There you go. In a couple of days of watching practice and getting to know everybody, almost every sentence ends with, if you hit it. If you hit it.
Exactly. You know, so much is done in practice. You do it over and over again, but it only counts right now when the judges are watching.
That's Melissa Suter. They call her Misser. And she's in the anchor position on the bars. McCullough put a 9-9 on the bars. Well done. Mandy Mosby, a 9.85 for Rhode Island on the beam. I'm sorry, from UMass.
So far on the bars, really nice routine. Keeping it moving, good transition. Setting up for a dismount, double tuck flyaway, 1 step. Not a lot of speed in that routine, but very, very solid.
Let's see how the team comes over. From Temple University, we're back on the vault. Becky Bubeck, who is 5th among the 6 competitors. We're on the beam.
Now she's going to go for a front tuck mount. Let's see if she hits it. Oh, now that was a save. You know, that's really one of the most difficult mounts because of the landing, and it's at 2 feet, and she really just hung on to that one. Just showing some work close to the beam, straddle split, nice combination.
Working from end to end.
Needle scale. Punch front again. Hit that one. You know, all of the different elements, they were scored either A, B, C, D, or E according to their difficulty. You can also gain extra points by doing a certain combination of skills. Some of them are gymnastic, which means dance or leaps or turns. And the acrobatic element to the tumbling one. Here she's getting ready for, looks like her acro series. Handspring back layout, very nice.
And that gains in value because of its combination.
Right, well, you're required on beam to show an acro series and a gymnastic series and then a combination. There's some stuff you just can't get along without. Nice dismount.
Very nice. To the floor we go, and the dynamic Mandy Mosby, who has indeed put a 9.95 up on the board of the Atlantic 10. Just 4'8" and a whip it.
And she whipped it through to a back double pike. We talk about her short stature, but very powerful tumbling, very consistent. You see the crowd really getting into this event. A little bit of country music here in Massachusetts.
Her second run.
Tuck double.
What height she gets at 4'8". And a good bounce. What do you call those?
Well, if you're on a trampoline, you call it a seat drop. So.
There you go. We'll go with that one. And her dance routine. She let her squad out. Loves to perform.
You can really see that, and it's very confident in all of her movements. Her steps are very clear. A lot of fun with this.
Little six-shooter act, the lasso. And see what she's got left for the third run.
She's looking strong. Really nice. Look at that. Just a little step.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Back to Marissa Medall from Rhode Island on the beam. Again, the dramatic entry.
Ooh, very nice. Very solid. Round off. You're right. You're saying, ooh, her head wasn't that far from the beam. But it's very, very clean, solid, no shakes.
A 9.95 for Mosby on the floor, just posted. Meanwhile, Medall, who's off the Pan American team, competed for the U.S. in Hungary as a youngster. Excellent combination.
She really has nice speed in the flow of her beam routine. Doesn't take a lot of pauses or breaks. It really shows that she has good technique, good confidence in her overall routine.
And she's one that said she loves the team approach at Rhode Island as opposed to some of her earlier experiences in Florida as a youngster, where it was all 6 hours a day in the gym, focused completely on her. Now she gets to cheer and jump up and down and enjoys herself.
Well, it really helps you out because you see in the team concept, when you can drop one score, it does give you a little bit of an out. But then again, it makes you want to do well for the rest of your teammates. So it gives you a different kind of motivation.
And she is strong through the lower body.
She's setting up her dismount.
Yeah. That's Marissa Medall. Just a freshman out of Pompano Beach. And there you see the rest of the squad enjoying her work. Now let's go back over. You got a big out of me as you see how close her head comes to the beam on this.
Well, right, this is what we call a round-off entry. And she's doing a layout step out onto the beam. And look at that. No shakes. It was very solid, very square onto the beam.
And she has a 9.85 for her beam routine. Back with rotation number 3, Atlantic 10 Gymnastics Championships next. We are back and set for rotation number 3, Atlantic 10 Women's Gymnastics Championship. Darden Willie from George Washington leads the rotation. In that second rotation, Mandy Mosby from Massachusetts set an Atlantic 10 record, a personal career high, best in the school at 9.95 to move Massachusetts into second in the overall through 2 rotations. A 49.15 on the floor for the team was also the best in the Atlantic 10 this year. And here's Darden Willie.
Setting up for her acro series. Way out, step out to finish that one.
George Washington very strong all the way through on Dean. They find themselves in third place through 2 rotations.
So far, she's been very solid. Keeping the routine moving. Combination. As you recall, mixed combination when you want to combine an acrobatic or tumbling move with a gymnastics or a leap dance move. Gainer off the side. Very solid. No major breaks. I think it'll be a good score. Good score for George Washington.
Saw the career best 9.85. We go to the bars. That's Kiva Williamson leading off the bars for the Temple University Owls. Temple in 4th after 2 rotations.
So giant swings. That's a lot of really interesting work with the feet. A lot of soul, as we call soul circles. Soul's on, straddle, and pike position. Interesting dismount, which she hit.
And you see Coach Anderson behind dismounting with her.
Exactly. One of the more creative routines.
Very nice for Kiva Williamson. Also from Temple, Danielle Corbin on the bars.
Now the coach is allowed to stand by, just in case. Oh, missed that Ginga. See if she's okay. Just got the wind knocked out of her. As I mentioned before, the coaches can stand by, but if they actually do spot her, then there will be a deduction. But it's really a good safety measure for all the athletes.
And the athletes are used to seeing that face next door, if you will.
That's true. You know, there's some moves that you just need that extra confidence in.
And not to be facetious, but learning to fall appropriately is one of the early skills. And we haven't seen any really uncomfortable falls as the trainer checks the eyes and makes sure everything's fine.
No, it's really important. After years and years of gymnastics, one of the most important things you learn is how to fall safely.
Let's go to the vault and Megan Donahue. Once she finishes her conversation with Coach Kuzera.
That's really important right here. You want to make all the adjustments.
Danielle has gotten back up right where she left off and put together a nice dismount. If you don't finish a routine, that score's the one automatically thrown out?
Automatically, yes, unless someone else on your team, of course, doesn't finish the routine.
But do you get scored if you don't finish?
No, it won't be a complete score.
Let's go to the vault. Massachusetts having an outstanding meet thus far. Megan Donahue out of Tewksbury, Massachusetts, been the Rookie of the Week a couple of times in the Atlantic 10. Been very consistent for a young performer. Little shot.
Yeah, that's what we call a short vault. Hands in, knees down.
Now, do you lose that in the push-off?
It's really your after flight, right. Not getting enough speed, not getting enough rotation so that you can get your feet under you for the nice landing.
Maggie Tellerico. In what is not in her best event. Just to update the scores following 2 rotations, Massachusetts off that 49.15 floor, best of the year, has taken the lead. We'll give you the full numbers in a moment.
Maggie's doing well for not being one of her better events. As an all-around, you have to have some that are stronger than others, but you must be consistent on all the events. Nice dismount like her teammate had. I really got to give it to Ken as a coach. He's really being creative with using different moves in the tempo bar routines.
Massachusetts in the lead at 97.55, GW 97.275, Rhode Island hanging in 97.075, and Temple at 95.275. That's through 2 rotations. Jen Gendron, a stud on the vault, great speed. Baby step.
Baby step, Sukahara. Had to watch the form breaks. Legs were a little bent.
Really come on strong on the vault, was a floor expert. And has nice speed.
Nice speed. You do a half turn and then she's doing a layup, but you can see her legs were bent, a little bit of separation. The judges are looking for that, and there'll be 2 slight deductions.
And from Temple, Gallagher. Set to go on the unevens, where she's been outstanding, has put a 9-8 on the board this year. But the early story was the Massachusetts performance anchored by Mosby on the floor, which has vaulted them, if you will, in the first place.
A little bit of home court advantage, as we say. And consistency. And because they had a fall earlier in the rotation, each one of these routines is going to count. So keep that in mind. Oh, nice release. Small form breaks, but nice tight release.
And that's truly a blind move, isn't it?
It's just that you're far in the pike position. It's really hard to regrasp because you're so far away from the bar.
Well done. Let's go to the beam. And Devin McCullough. Again, she uses those long legs and that elegant line very well in her routine.
Right, having long lines and beautiful positions is really what gymnastics is all about. So if you have that, control it with some good tumbling, then you've got a good all-around package. Macro series.
Out of Dallas, Texas.
And really what's so nice about her work is that she finishes or completes all of the moves, and that really gives it that good finished look. Very complete, very solid. It's all those little details that get you the higher scores. Switch side split leap.
The concentration ability with what's going on all around with the beam right in the center of all of it is extraordinary.
Yeah, that's something these athletes really are used to, and on beam you have to be extraordinarily focused. Nice dismount. Overall, good routine.
For Devin McCullough from George Washington. A hug from the coach as we'll continue with rotation number 3 from Massachusetts in a moment. Welcome back, an emerging star in Bryn Hillman on the bars.
This is a really innovative routine. She's a tall gymnast, 5'8", beautiful Jaeger, nice rhythm going over to the transition to the low bar. And some hand changes there. Nice dismount.
Very nice. And she liked it.
You know, it seems like
Goldberg on the vault.
Wow. Really? Twisting on. Now that's really a tough vault to really set in the middle. Getting your hand straight on the vault is really tough on that type of element.
Let's see it one more time. A lot of action in flight.
Right, there's no somersaults, but it's really the twisting action on. You have full twisting on and off.
Now to Kelly Banks on the beam. The sophomore.
Back handspring, back handspring. Oh, whoa. Trying to hold on to that one. There will be a deduction, but the key is just not to fall off. The athletes really do anything they can to keep their feet on the beam.
And that's mostly just good grabbing with the toes, or a good
combination. Swinging at the arms, grabbing at the toes, anything to stay on the beam.
And making it look graceful.
A little bit of bar action on the beam. It's important for all the athletes. You have to work low to the beam, showing the different level heights. And everyone's got a turn.
And well set. She preps for the dismount.
Another gainer off the side. Very solid routine.
Very well done. Here's the second vault of Goldberg from Massachusetts. Same one. First might have been a tiny bit cleaner.
I think there's a little bit more energy and height away from the horse on the first vault.
Here's Marissa Medal. Her coach talked about the gleaming floor X work she does. Incites the crowd, has the power and the grace and the stamina. Extremely entertaining.
Nice opening. Whip through twisting. And this is a lot of fun.
Well, she actually said as a young girl at 13 or 14, she almost quit gymnastics. Felt she had overdone it in her early days, and her parents said, we'd support you either way. And now you can see that she's just back to enjoying herself.
Yes, the love for the sport really comes through. We talked about the girls on each of the team really giving them support and really finding a new love for the sport that they've trained so many years before to develop and perfect.
Very sweet with the hands, the little touches you like to talk about, and the shoulders.
Yeah, shaking it up just a little bit.
And her final tumbling run.
Finish with a full twist, a little bit of dancing at the end.
Very nice from Marissa Medal, a freshman from Rhode Island. As the rotation continues for George Washington on the beam, Erica Louie, who finished 4th on the beam in the Atlantic 10s a year ago, with the honor of anchoring her squad in this, the 3rd rotation. Nicely done. Here's the 2-time defending all-around champion, the senior Mandy Mosby. At 4'8" with that low center, she flies down the runway.
Yeah, it definitely helps. When you're a little bit smaller, you can spin that much faster. But she's got the power to back it up.
And here she comes.
Oh, very nice. Nice, good landing. Feet together, very solid.
Exquisite control It's amazing when you think of the speed and the acts in the air to have that level of control.
Just great air sense.
Here's a look back at her first one.
So, you know, you start from the handspring, and then you take it around, and look at that landing. That's the key, right in the middle of the mat. Want to make sure her feet are together, very solid.
Got a 9.75 on her first one. She throws her head up, then tucks it down. As you said, the good air sense. Spins herself over. Outstanding.
That feels really good when you're going for your second vault and you know you hit the first one. Relieves a little bit of the pressure.
And here she comes.
Same vault. First one was a little bit better. She had a little step on that one, but that was very solid.
Mosby with nearly a carbon copy.
It was, from the takeoff sense, good height on the pre-flight, rotating around, but then she has that small little step, and that's going to be a slight deduction.
Third rotation has been complete. The gymnasts are on the move, and so are we. Back to Amherst in a moment. After 3 rotations, extraordinarily close between George Washington and Rhode Island, with Massachusetts in striking distance in the final rotation. Rhode Island's on the vault, UMass on the bars, the beam for Temple, GW on the floor. One of the great stories, Rena Rainieri, who's missed the entire season with a bad ankle, fought all the way back just to get to this meet. So this is her first competitive vault of the year in the A-10 Championships.
Wow, handspring front pike. Nice. What a relief.
An outstanding vaulter with that heavily taped ankle. One of her calves is fully developed. The other seems somewhat atrophied by all the injury work, but she put the good one on the board, then went for another.
Same vault. Landing was off to the center, but I think she's just happy to get those out of the way.
9.75. That's Devin Miller from Temple. As Temple moves through the beam. Very strong and extraordinarily flexible, says Coach Anderson.
Oh, this is a great event to show that off. You really can take your time and show the elements, the line that you have.
She's beautiful to watch on the beam. Very well-proportioned gymnast.
So now for Acro Series, 2 back handsprings. Oh, that's really nice. Anytime you're moving with your body perpendicular to the beam, makes it really, really tough.
After 3 events, Devin McCalla from George Washington at a 29.55 overall. Mandy Mosby in the all-around at 29 flat, including a 9.975 on the floor X. And Marissa Madala 29.7, as she's been very consistent in her 3 events. Nicely done, Devin Miller. Megan Donahue on the bars. This is her outstanding event, her best event.
Looks like she had to do a remount there. Now she's got to finish the complete routine.
Nice dismount. Mary Moore now stepping up. She's also at a 38.75 career best all around.
Nice work on the bar. Nice positions, good transitions. Preparing for the dismount here. Good form. Oh, just a little step to the side, but it's a very solid routine.
Here's some of that top work.
You can see here, nice toe point, following through, straddle on, and when she lands, she just has to cross step to the back, so she's going to get a deduction on that ending.
Daniel Corbin on the beam.
You know, use all that chalk on your hands and your feet to prevent sweating or slipping. Also helps calm your nerves a little bit while you're waiting for the judges to give you the signal.
We'll go to the floor, and Darden Willie in her floor X. This likely is her best event individually. And she preps for that first run.
Solid tumbler. Double back to finish. Now it's really important you take all the space you can in the floor. Get right in the corner, preparing for a second run. Nice tumbling pass. Front tumbling is really a little bit tougher. A lot of the gymnasts are using it these days. Get a little extra points there.
Very good energy level.
Nice work along the floor. Good combination in her choreography.
And preparing for a third pass.
Right, she has really good use of the whole floor area. Nice variety in her movement. Here comes her last pass, getting all that energy together. Nice finish.
Well done.
A little Shushanova to finish.
With a big smile. Well done, Darden Willie. Andy Mosby with the coaching staff. First, though, Marissa Madal, her second vault. Madal tops in the Atlantic 10 this year at 9.825 on the vault. Here she comes.
Wow, she's going for a handspring double twist. She was a little short on the rotation. So a small deduction there.
Almost identical to what happened as we go to tape of her first vault double twist.
Well, you can see she's just off center. She really spins fast. She's really saved that one. It's a much better vault.
Now to Mandy Mosby on the bars, perhaps for the all-around championship. And with her power at 4.8, she has a blast going bar to bar.
Yes, blast and good speed, good form. She's just such, the technique's very strong. Double flyaway. Just one step, but it was a good bar routine. Really solid, and I'm sure she's so emotional because this is her last event.
Here's Erica Louie. Floor X extraordinaire for George Washington. In the number 5 position, the senior out of Lincroft.
Whip through to a double back. That was nice.
It's amazing how they get up.
And you know, Larry, this is their last event, so you'd think they'd be tired right here, but you know, it's really on the edge, so the adrenaline is pushing them through this routine.
Coming right at you for the second run. Just missed it, but it was sweet on the double twist.
Well, you know, she was just trying to pull it off and kept on stiffing through.
Huge smile on her face as she works the floor.
Krishnova.
And again, working the whole floor.
At this point, you're just taking a deep breath, wanting to get everything finished. Their final pass. Very good landing on that one. She should be happy with that event.
Well, she finished 4th in 99 on the floor X. And a huge hug from Coach Foster Cunningham. And we'll check out some of this potential championship form, which has a 9.95 for this routine.
Really, she's trying to get that all the way around. And, you know, the judge is going to take just a small deduction for not completion of the final rotation.
Back to the vault. Missy Boxtos, who finished 2nd this season in the Atlantic 10. Same vault as Marissa tried. And Christy Gerard, the very final floor exercise of our program, in anchor position for George Washington. A national champion in high school. Ooh.
You can see why. Really solid.
And I love the way that smile explodes after the first tumbling run when they knock it.
Right, get that first one out of the way.
I'm into it now, right? Ready to rock.
But you got to bring that concentration back, and you still got 2 more passes to go. Very nice front tumbling series there.
George Washington and Rhode Island almost in a flat-footed tie through 3 rotations, so every 10th, every 8th counts right now.
A little bit off on there. And really, like you said, every 10th is going to count. And the judges are looking not just the tumbling moves, but all those dance combinations, turns. All of it's got to be put together to get the high score. Oh, saw that slip coming.
She lost it before she got off the ground.
Yeah.
Now the perseverance to close it with grace. And she does. Competition nearly complete on the floor. George Washington is done. Rhode Island has completed their final group of vaults. This is that little stumble on the end.
Well, you can see here from the handspring, she's starting her twist. Her feet slipped just a little bit, so she couldn't get around for the landing.
Does she know it at that point?
Yeah, but you can't do anything while you're flying in the air. Just try to save it.
Timeout. Can't call a timeout midair here. Coach Cunningham doesn't know if they've done yet enough to claim a 3rd consecutive championship. Nor for Dave Kuzera for Massachusetts. Our final competitor of the afternoon, Maggie Tellerico on the beam.
Oh, and she starts out. She's trying to do a front on, missed her foot, had to take the fall. But you got to get back on and finish the entire routine.
Must be few things as difficult or as frustrating as missing your entry and then having to do the whole routine.
It really shows the concentration of a gymnast. You just really have to shake it off, get focused, and really try and stay on for the rest of the beam routine. Jane will step out. Combination with the wolf jump.
Looks like an extremely close championship. Rhode Island, George Washington, Massachusetts, individually McCullough, Madal, Mosby, extremely close. As Maggie Tellerico, our final performer, prepares to complete her work on the beam.
At this point, she has pretty much all the requirements out of the way. Setting up for her dismount.
Very well done. We will come back, add up the numbers, see if it's George Washington or Rhode Island as your champion. That and more next. The Atlantic 10 Women's Gymnastics Championships is brought to you by Bell Atlantic. As a proud sponsor of the Atlantic 10 Conference, Bell Atlantic is dedicated to helping those students and athletes achieve every possibility. By GMAC and the GMAC Grad Program. Grads get $400 off any new Chevrolet, Pontiac, GMC, or Oldsmobile. And by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers. And we welcome you back to the Curry Hicks Chage Atlantic 10 Women's Gymnastics Championships for the team honors. Let's go down to the podium right now.
And now, team score results. In fourth place, with a score of 188.575, Temple University. In third place, with a score of 193.625, the University of Massachusetts. In second place, with a score of 195, Rhode Island. And our champions, with a score of 195.675, George Washington.
Let us take you down to the floor. Wendy's got a very happy special guest.
Thanks, Larry. Marjorie, this was the third one, but I have to admit it was very, very close.
It was very exciting, but when you go to a championship, that's how you want it to be. I was just very pleased with my team's performance and how they were able to have that stick-to-itiveness to make it through and pull it out at the end.
Well, what made the difference? Because Rhode Island was right on your tail. It was very close to the end.
Well, I'll tell you, we talked about this before, is the start values on vaulting. They ended on vaulting, we ended on floor, and we had all 10-0 start values on floor. So that's one of our strongest events. It was a great place for us to finish, and it worked in our favor today.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So 3 consecutive championships now for George Washington. It was just 1/10 of a point entering the final rotation. GW extremely strong on the floor. They win it over a happy group from Rhode Island with 195. UMass third, 193.625. Temple in fourth at 188.575. And let us send you back to the podium now. The individual all-around awards about to be handed out.
In fourth place, from George Washington with a score of 39.125, Darden Wiley. Earning the bronze medal and third place finish from UMass with a score of 39.375, Mandy Mosby. And earning the silver medal, second place finish from URI with a score of 39.45, Marissa Nadal. And with our first place finish, gold medal winner from George Washington with a score of 39.5, Devin McCullough.
So the individual all-around numbers, McCullough brilliant on all 4 rotations. Marissa Madal, 39.450. The two-time defending champion from Massachusetts takes the bronze this time around. And from George Washington, Darden Wiley finished a very close 4th. And this athlete kept getting better and better as the meet went on. Wendy Hilliard, another special guest.
Now you have your first Atlantic 10 all-around championship. What made the difference for you today?
Basically just going in and being consistent, doing what we do in practice, just staying focused and having my team behind me, really.
Well, watching you perform today, for a sophomore, you were very cool and collected, like this was just another meet, but it wasn't.
No, this was a special meet. It was a big goal for us to come in here and win this again. But just like I said, you do what you do in practice. You can't come out here and change anything. It just has to be just like every day. It's just another day in the gym.
Well, congratulations. This day won you the championship.
Thank you very much.
So once again, George Washington has now won the championship 3 times in a row in a very close one over Rhode Island. There's something for everybody to kind of take out of this one. You saw the Rhode Island young ladies were very excited because the way their season started, they didn't expect they might even be here, and George Washington closed the door as champions.
Well, really, coming in, looking at the practice, I thought George Washington was going to take this away, but today's competition proved me wrong. I think Rhode Island really pulled up. They were unexpected. They weren't expected to do that, but George Washington still has such consistency, there is no doubt that they were going to take it.
You know, the difference in body types between Devin McCullough and Mosby from Massachusetts, kind of like the big and the small of it, and very different styles, the elegance of McCullough carried the day.
Well, it's youth also. I mean, besides Devin is very composed, she was very consistent, and Marissa actually has a lot of experience behind her, and she's taking that as a freshman, and she's going to go through her collegiate career.
And Marissa Madal, our first look, that's a big-time freshman.
Oh, it's going to be very exciting to see how she does the rest of the time.
Well, that completes our coverage of the Atlantic 10 Women's Gymnastics Championships from the University of Massachusetts. For Wendy Hilliard, I'm Larry Rosen. Jim Dodonna led our production and technical effort once again for the 3rd consecutive year. George Washington has claimed the championship. The proceeding has been a presentation of the Atlantic 10 Television Network.